Hello students, welcome back to my channel Tech Teacher Shruti. In last video we have seen about components and containers and one simple example, that is a Swing application example which uses JLabel and JFrame. In this video we are going to see about event handling Swing examples. Okay, how we will handle the events with the Swing components. Okay, however the Swing components do respond to the user input and events are generated by those interactions need to be handled. For example, if I click on a button, that button click generates a action event. That action event should be handled by the appropriate event handler. That is necessary. Already we learned that in a event handling, that is unit 1. Okay, in Swing also the same kind of mechanism is applied to handle the events. The event handling mechanism used by the Swing is the same as that used by the AWT. So this approach is also called as delegation event model, which is used by AWT. Now that same approach we will use in a Swing to handle the events with the Swing components. And events specific to Swing are stored in javax.swing.event. Okay, and in last video we have seen about JFrame. Okay, it is a type of container which inherits the java.awt.frame class. Means this is the super class for javax.swing.jframe. And Java Swing application to handle the events in a Swing is as follows. See here, this is the program and this is the output. See, we are taking one JFrame here and we are taking one JLabel and two J buttons. Okay, when I will click on alpha button, it should handle the button click event and it should display alpha was pressed. When I will click on beta button, it should handle that button click also and beta was pressed was the need to be displayed on the JFrame. Okay, in these cases the button click event is generated. That means action event is generated. We need to handle the event. Okay, this we will see in Eclipse. See, now we are importing the necessary packages. Okay, java.awt.star. Why? Because we are using the flow layout manager here, which is defined in a java.awt.star. So we are importing this package. Next, import java.awt.event.star. It means it imports all the necessary packages and classes which are related to event handling. See here, we are using the action listener here. Okay, to support this action listener class, we are importing this java.awt.event.star. Next, we are importing javax.swing.star. Why? Because we are using a JFrame. This JFrame class is defined in this package. So we are importing javax.swing.star. Next, we are writing a class that is event swing. We are taking one JLabel. We are writing the constructor. Within that constructor, whatever the design part of that user interface is there, by using JFrame, that code, all code we are writing within that constructor. First, we are creating one frame. Okay, that frame name I am giving is an event example. Okay, whatever the name or a text we will pass here, that it will display in on the menu bar of the JFrame. Next is JLabel. Okay, we are creating the object of a JLabel. Starting the JLabel is press a button, means it is displaying a information that is press button initially. Next, for that frame we are setting a layout manager. Why this layout manager is important? Why? Because it will arrange the components in the container in a neat manner, or we can arrange the components very neatly in the container. Okay, the default based on flow layout, that is the default layout manager, and default dimension of that flow layout manager, the components will neatly arranged in a container. Flow layout is nothing but one after the other the components will arranged in a container. Next, for JFrame we are setting a size that is 220 bar, 150. It means initial size of JFrame we are setting to this dimension, that is height and width. And this line of code, as I told, this line of code we will use to terminate the program when user closes the application. For that purpose we will use the set default close operation method. Next, we are creating two buttons, that is alpha and beta. As I told, button click event is generated here when I will click on alpha button and beta button. So that is a action event. We need to handle that action event. Okay, for handling that action event we are using a anonymous inner class here. Okay, JB1 is nothing but a alpha button. Okay, when I will click on a alpha button, that event is handled by this line of code. Means initially we are registering this button with the action listener. Okay, when I will click on a JB1 object, that is a alpha button, it will call action performed method and the label text will change to alpha was pressed. Okay, the label will display alpha was pressed message. Okay, after that when I will click on a beta button, that is also generating a button click event. Okay, that event should be handled, right? For that purpose I am registering the JB2, that is beta button, with the action listener. Okay, when I will click on beta button, it will call this action performed method and the JLabel text is set to beta was pressed. Okay, when I will click on a alpha button, this action performed method will called and the label text will set to alpha was pressed. When I will call a beta button or when I will click on a beta button, this action performed method will called and the label text is set to beta was pressed. As I told, to make visible those components on the container, we need to add those components to the containers. Okay, so to the JFrame we are adding the components here. First I am adding the JLabel, J button means that is alpha button, JB2 that is beta button. Okay, and I am making that frame visible on the screen by using the set visible method and I am passing true here. Then only that frame becomes visible on the screen. Next I am writing the main method. Okay, and here I am creating the object of this class. When I will call this new event swing or when I will create an object of event swing, the automatic call is comes here and this line of code, these all lines of code will be executed. Okay, this is how the event will be handled by using a JFrame in a swing. Now we will see the output. See here, this is our output. This is one JFrame. The name of JFrame is an event example. initially the J label is displaying press button. Two buttons are there, alpha and beta. When I will click on alpha button, the J label text is changed to alpha was pressed. And I will click on a beta button, the J label text is displaying as beta was pressed. This is how we will handle the events with the swing by using a JFrame. Okay, the same event handling example we will see with the applet. We are creating a swing applet. Okay, the functionality of the program is same. What we see in this program, no, the functionality of program is same, but instead of JFrame we are using a JApplet here. Okay, a swing applet extends the JApplet rather than the applet. Okay, in a AWT, if you want to write a applet programs, we will extend a applet class. Okay, in a swing we will extend JApplet. Okay, it is derived from applet class. Thus, JApplet includes all the functionality found in a applet, and it adds some more features to support the swing. The javax.swing.japplet class defines the core functionality of an applet in a swing. This is the program. See, this is the program. Again we are importing javax.swing.star. Why? Because we are using a JApplet and JLabel, JButton here, which are the swing components. JApplet is a container we can call. Import java.awt.star. Why? Because we are using a flow layout manager. We are importing a java.awt.event.star. Why? Because we are handling these two button events here. Okay, it will provide the necessary classes and interfaces to handle these events. Next, I am writing a applet code here. When I will run this program, the applet viewer will parse this code part. Okay, and whichever class name we will mention here, no, that class will execute. And initially the width and height of the applet is defining here. I am writing a class swing applet, and we are writing a applet class, so we are extending the JApplet here. Next, we are taking two buttons and one label. Here we are initializing a applet in a init method, and in that init method we are calling a make GUI method. In this method, what are the necessary GUI components we will need now to create a user interface? That all lines of code we will write in a make GUI method. We are setting a layout manager to flow layout. By default we will use a flow layout, and initially we are creating a JLabel. Okay, the initial message it is displaying is press button. Next, we are creating a two buttons, alpha and beta. Okay, next, when I will click on alpha button, it will generate an action event. Okay, that should be handled. For that, with the alpha button object, I am registering that. Okay, I am registering this alpha button by using a registration method, that is add action listener. Okay, when I will click on a alpha button, the call will come to this anonymous inner class. Okay, and it will call this action performed method, and JLabel text will set to alpha was pressed. When I will click on beta button, the call is come to this action performed method. Okay, and I am registering this beta button object. Okay, next, when I will click on a beta button, the call is come to in this action performed method, and the label text is set to beta was pressed. Next I am adding this J label, J button 1, J button 2, that is alpha and beta buttons to the J applet. Okay, we are adding those to content pane of the J applet. Okay, we can call as container also. Okay, this is the Swing applet program. We will see output now. The output will be the same, but we are using a applet viewer here. See here, this is the applet. The functionality of program is same. Okay, initially it is displaying press button. If I click on alpha button, it will display alpha was pressed. If I click on beta button, it will display beta was pressed. This is how we will handle the events with the Swing by using a applet. Thank you.